At first glance, Keanu Reeves seems to have it all. Many talented actors only dream of attaining Reeves' level of fame and fortune, the fruits of labor of an acting career that has spanned 3 decades. Although his agent thought he should change his name when he first started acting, Reeves has been very successful using the name his mother gave him. Keanu Charles Reeves, whose first name means cool breeze over the mountains in Hawaiian, was born September 2, 1964 in Beirut, Lebanon. He is the son of Patricia Taylor, a showgirl and costume designer, and Samuel No.1 Reeves, a geologist. Keanu's father was born in Hawaii, of British, Portuguese, native Hawaiian, and Chinese ancestry, and Keanu's mother is originally from England. When the world was first introduced to Keanu Reeves, he was seen as just another handsome up-and-comer, known for leading roles in films like 1991's My Own Private Idaho and 1992's Bram Stoker's Dracula. A few years later, though, he was world famous for goofy comedies like the Bill and Ted series, summer blockbuster fluff like 1994's Speed, and boundary-pushing sci-fi like 1999's The Matrix. Though his career declined in the years following those successes, Reeves rallied. Today, the John Wick superstar is one of the most beloved actors in Hollywood, largely due to his off-screen generosity, genuine love for his legions of fans, charitable giving habits, and quiet, humble demeanor. Not many actors see their reputations undergo such an evolution. What makes Reeves different? One cause is Reeves' lifetime of grief and tragedy. His hardships have softened him into the wholesome, soft-spoken, Hollywood statesman we know and love today. From childhood hardship to the tragic loss of loved ones to family illness, this is the inspiring, real-life story of Keanu Reeves, one of the world's most cherished actors. Keanu Reeves' father walked out on his family. Reeves was born in Beirut, Lebanon to showgirl and costume designer Patricia Taylor and geologist Samuel Reeves. When Reeves was just 3 years old, Samuel walked out on the family. A single mother, Patricia moved the family around a lot during Reeves' childhood, raising him in Hawaii, Australia, New York, and Canada. Reeves attended 4 high schools by the time he dropped out when he was 17 years old. He credits his struggles with dyslexia for making his education a bigger challenge than it is for most people. You are watching videos on Star Hollywood channel. Please give 1 like and 1 subscribe to support the channel. Thanks for watching videos. River Phoenix was Keanu Reeves' best friend. Actor River Phoenix was considered to be one of the most gifted actors of his time. His work in films like Stand By Me and River's Edge were universally praised by critics. Phoenix and Reeves met on the film I Love You to Death and quickly became best friends. When Reeves saw the script for My Own Private Idaho, he knew Phoenix was perfect for the role. In December 1989, Reeves rode more than 1,000 miles on his motorcycle to hand-deliver the film's treatment to Phoenix and persuade him to take the role. It was during the filming of My Own Private Idaho that Phoenix developed a drug addiction that would later claim his life. In 1993, Phoenix died of a drug overdose outside of the famed celebrity hotspot, Viper Room, when he was 23 years old. The actor reportedly took a lethal combination of cocaine, heroin, and Valium. Reeves was also 23 years old at the time. The death of Keanu Reeves' daughter and girlfriend. Just 5 years after the death of his best friend, Reeves met David Lynch's assistant, Jennifer Sim, in 1998. The pair fell instantly in love, according to Reeves, and conceived a child 1 year later. On December 24, 1999, while Reeves was filming The Matrix, Ava Archer Sims Reeves was stillborn. The grief of losing a child understandably strained their relationship, and the couple broke up a few weeks later. Unfortunately, the tragic story doesn't end there. A year and a half later, Sim was on her way back to a party at Marilyn Manson's home when she was killed in a car accident. She was only 28 years old at the time of her death on April 2, 2001. Reeves addressed his never-ending grief in a 2006 interview. Grief changes shape, but it never ends, Reeves told Parade. People have a misconception that you can deal with it and say, it's gone, and I'm better. They're wrong. When the people you love are gone, you're alone. Reeves has cited the deaths of Ava and Sims as the reason he avoids serious relationships and having children. Reeves' life story is unarguably sad, but it is also inspiring. Any one of the above events is enough to make almost anyone bitter, but Reeves seems to have only gained more compassion and empathy along the way. Despite all of the pain and misfortune he has endured, Reeves has become just as well known for his random acts of kindness as he is for his movies. Although Reeves doesn't like to talk about his painful past, he does tend to portray characters who have endured similar hardships in life. In John Wick, Reeves' character is an assassin who is motivated by the loss of his wife and dog. Reeves told The Telegraph that Wick's grief allowed him to connect with the character. "For me, it was John's grief that made it personal," says Reeves. "It was strong enough to make him want to unearth his past. I thought of it not as revenge but as reclaiming." 4 high schools, but no diploma. As a kid, Reeves struggled academically, attending 4 separate high schools in total. He never did earn his diploma and never pursued higher education. Reeves was, in fact, expelled from one of his many schools. As he told the Daily Mail in 2008, "It was difficult. I went to 4 different high schools in 5 years. I was okay academically, good at English and creative writing. I was on the chess team. But," he added, "it was a very small school, and I guess I didn't fit in. I had conflicts and run-ins with the staff. The principal and I didn't see eye to eye. I was one of those kids I asked too many questions about everything. I couldn't stop, even if it got me into trouble. I wanted my autonomy, and if you wanted to impose something on me, then you and I would have a problem." Still, he took the expulsion hard. "It's a terrible letter to receive," he continued, saying you can't come back to school next year. Getting asked to leave was very upsetting. In the end, though, it inspired him to get serious about acting. Losing River Phoenix. By the late 80s, Keanu Reeves was already landing some major, enviable roles, like 1988's Permanent Record and the following year's goofball buddy comedy, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Bill and Ted became a cult hit that spawned a handful of riotous sequels. A few years later, he embraced mature films like 1990's I Love You to Death and the following year's My Own Private Idaho, a drama about 2 street hustler friends who embark on a journey of self-discovery. Reeves became fast, but unfortunately not lifelong, friends with his co-star in those 2 films, River Phoenix. Joaquin's older brother was on a similar career trajectory to Reeves at the time, having broken into serious roles in the late 80s. Unfortunately, as is often the case with young celebrities, Phoenix struggled with the pressures of fame and ultimately turned to drugs. On October 31, 1993, tragedy struck when Phoenix collapsed outside Los Angeles' Viper Room nightclub and died hours later at the age of 23. The tragedy stunned Hollywood, and Reeves in particular. As Reeves told The Guardian in 2019, "Phoenix was definitely one of my closest friends from that era. We shared an artistic sensibility. River was just so down-to-earth, spiritual and a unique artist. Yeah, I miss him." Suffering the loss of a child. By the late 90s, Keanu had broken out of rising star status and become a bona fide leading man. This happened largely on the backs of 1994's Speed, in which he played a young cop trapped on a bus that's set to blow if it travels slower than 50 miles per hour, and 1999's The Matrix, in which he played a man who discovers the world around him is a simulation. It was around this time that he met and fell in love with Jennifer Sim, an actress and personal assistant. Before long, Jennifer was pregnant. However, shortly before Christmas, 1999, Sim noticed she hadn't felt movement from the baby in days. The two rushed to the hospital, where ultrasound tests revealed that the worst-case scenario was indeed true. Sim delivered their stillborn daughter, Ava Archer Sim Reeves, on December 24, 1999. Understandably, this loss devastated both parents. As an anonymous friend told The Globe in 2000, he really had his heart set on becoming a dad. Instead, he and Jennifer are undergoing grief counseling to try and help them cope with their anguish. Thank you for watching all the videos. Please like and subscribe to our channel to continue watching our latest videos. Goodbye and see you again.